Vinted is the leading C2C marketplace for second-hand fashion in Europe. Fashion remains one of the main category and our expertise. Over the last 15 years, since 2008, when actually Vinted was founded, only women was one of the categories. Nowadays, also men, for example, we noted that is taking space and now represent around 10% of the overall listing. Kids, one of the most important one, over 1/3 of the overall listing, while still women is representing, let's say, one of the biggest with 50% of the listing. No real or significant change that we can attribute to the changing of the financial situation. What we know is that Vinted is a great place for people to mitigate the impact on inflation and also to support their own financials. And this is valid both from sellers and from buyer. From buyer because, for example, they can find an item like cheaper versus what they have spent if it would be a new item or a new purchase, while seller because actually they can sell and make some profit out of something that maybe was just laying at home, and they also can give a second chance and a second life to this item. We definitely see some local specifics from country to country, but we also see general trends. Over the last year, what is clear is that second-hand is becoming more relevant and has significantly increased. In the past, it was mainly associated to thrift store or to garage sales, while now, for example, accordingly to our climate change impact report that was published this year, buying second-hand there is actually a reduction in emission of 1.8 kilogram in CO2. And and as well the fact that I believe is quite important is that 1/3 of the users, so 1 user out of 3, with buying second-hand is actually preventing to buy a new item. Logistics is really important and it's one of the core of Vinted. Going through the report that I just mentioned before, we noticed that it is impacting positively also the environment, how through packaging. In fact, a lot of users are reutilizing packaging that were initially meant to be used for a single time, but actually can be recycled and used like for a second time, for example, Vinted. And the fact that around 73% of our users prefer the item to be delivered to a pick-up drop-off point, PUDO, instead of home delivery. And a single delivery to PUDO versus to home is reducing the impact of 62% of CO2.